Hi there, it's Naomi from Branching Out, and this video is just going to show you how you can install a freebie sign up that looks a little bit like this one. This is my free stuff page here, or that you can have a layout like this. Now there's a few different ways that you can kind of create this. Number one is by using Bloom. I've done a separate video on that. Number two is by using Magic Action Box on its own, but it just is a little bit limiting sometimes just to use it on its own. So how I've actually put these together is created a Magic Action Box for the sign up, and then these images are just created as images which are placed above or next to the sign up. So to get started, all you need to do is to install the Magic Action Box plugin into the website. And you can make sure you do that by just going to plugins and searching for the Magic Action Box, installing and then activating. And then once you've got that, you can actually just go and create a new action box. So I'm just going to go to action box on this site. You just can click on add new here, and you just need to create a new opt-in form, which is going to give you the buttons. So it's actually going to give you this email sign up area here and the button to go with that. So what's really good idea, Magic Action Box will just give you the default settings, but you can go and create your own style. So you can create your own style unique to you, your business, with your colours and everything in there. So that's what I would recommend that you do. So if you just come into creating a box, I'm just going to leave it as default for now. I'm going to go back and show you how to style it in a moment. I would select that you want to have a responsive layout. That means that it'll optimize nicely on mobile devices, and depending on whether you want to center content, you can do that too. Now, depending on what mail provider you're using, you can select here whether you want to copy and paste code in, which is the provider that I use. I do that. Then you just paste the code in here and process the code. If you're using something like MailChimp, it will hook up to that. So you just select the list, the provider that you want to use, and then just go and select the list here that you want to use and click update list. Okay, and what that will actually do then is create a sign up from that will go directly to MailChimp. Now, if you haven't already hooked up MailChimp and Action Box, I'll show you how to do that in a second. But then you can also select which fields that it wants to display. So I usually use email and first name. You can click last name as well. I'm just going to click first name on this one here. And this is where, if you're using Magic Action Box as standalone, you can put copy in. So you can put a heading, a subheading and main opt-in copy. However, to show you how to do them really simple and clean, I would do them without copy. So we're literally just creating the form. Once you've got the form, I'm just going to call this one test and click save. For some reason it has a little blip on the system that it just, whether it says do you want to stay on the page or leave the page, can actually just leave the page and it will still make those changes. Okay, so the other things I talked about were setting it up with MailChimp if you haven't done already. You can do that by just clicking on your main settings here and going to account integration here, and you can see it's got eWeber, MailChimp, Constant Contact and Send Reach. And all you need to do is get your API key. So you can click on here, it will actually take you over to MailChimp, where you can pick up your API key from MailChimp. And then you just paste it into here and then it will talk to one another. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is actually create our style. And you can do this by just clicking create a new style here. And it takes you along all the different aspects of those little boxes. So you can choose a background colour by clicking on here. If you don't know your hex code, there's a little tool that I'll share with you that can show you how to get your hex codes out of any branding. So you can just go along and make it completely unique to you. So I'm actually going to use link settings. I'm going to use leave all this as basic. One of the key ones you'll probably want to change is your fonts, to make sure that your fonts match what you're doing, and also your form elements, because those are your input boxes here, but also your submit buttons. So making sure that your buttons are displaying in correct colours on your website. So just let me grab my hex codes so I can pop mine in. I just have mine in a little notebook, should know them all by heart these days, to be honest. Okay, so I'm going to put in my hex pink, which is FF007F there, and then we can put a hover colour over that button, so somebody hovers over it, it will change. And I'm just going to, I would normally just use a tone of the main pink, but I'm just going to put it in as green so that you can see the difference between those. Then you can choose whether to have a border, or you can click 0, take the border off, or change the colour of it. Again, I said you can change text colours, so it's really about your personal preference on your site and what you are working with. But once you've made the changes, just make sure you click Save Style here. It's just thinking at the top. Now it's made those changes. So if I go back into the action box now, I can click on this test here, and in the user style go down to my style. I'm just going to update that over there. So now I know that this test box has got my branded colours on there, and that I'm happy to use it. Okay, so all we need to then do is, I'm just going to go and create a new page to display how this works. Okay, and I'm going to call it Magic Action Box. Okay, now you can just do it in the normal WordPress. This site I'm working on Divi theme, so if you want to just do it on a WordPress site, then you would just put it in the text here. On Divi, you click the Divi builder, and here is where you can choose your layout. So this is built in Divi, so I've got a split layout here, so I've got two lots of text side by side. So that's exactly what I'm going to do by clicking on here and putting a text box and a text box in. So I'm just going to go into that and put the text box there, and save it, and then just duplicate it over to the right hand side. So if I wanted to create one like this, so it's got an image on the left, sign up on the right, what I'd do is just click on here, and I'm going to put some Magic Action Box code in there. So let me just show you where that is. So up here, we've got some code, so we can put, what you could do if you're just using one Magic Action Box on a page, you can actually just select it from here. So you could just select the test. If you do it that way, it means you can only use it once on that page, can only be used, that type of sign up on that page. If you're wanting to do multiple like this is, then you can't select it that way, but I'm just going to show you both ways. This way you could do test, you could say you just want it after the content on your page, and you could just click publish. Okay, and then if we just go in here, we can see here it's put this sign up box just at the bottom, but we've got no image or anything attached to it there. If we wanted it to go into one of these boxes here, we could click manual, and then you could just copy that little bit of text there, click on here and paste it in, and it just says Magic Action Box there, and we're just going to update that. Okay, and then click on View Page. And you can see it's got no image on the left, which is why it's put it on the right, but you can see it's moved up into the content area because we've got it there. This has got a background on, I'll go and take that off afterwards, just so that it's displaying a little clearer, but you can see that scroll over that I changed before into my branded colours. Okay, so that's if you just want to have one sign up on a page, and just give you an example of where I've used this. If we just go into my free resources here, so if you went on to something like 7 Steps to Create a Website You Love, you can see I've just got a big image here and I've just got it used once, so that's okay to use it that way. Now if you wanted to have multiple sign-ups, then what you need to do is you actually need to put the code in, the actual action box number. So if you go into your action boxes here, you'll see they all have a unique number. This one is 1861. So what we need to do is, I'm just going to copy that, and then we need to do some short code. So just bear with me a sec. I'll just go on to those main settings there. I was hoping it would have it so you could copy and paste it, but I don't think it has there. It may have the shortcode in here. If not, it's fine, it's got it on the page. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to edit this page and we're going to manually put one in. So it does actually show you the shortcode here, so you can see it where it says magic action box ID equals action box ID. That is what we need to put in. So if we just go back into this box, take that one off, I'm just going to put the number in, which was 1861. I'm just going to remember that. And then I'm going to copy that, pop it into here, and then take out action box ID, and it's 1861. So I can get rid of that number at the side now. There, and save, update. Okay, so what that means now is that there doesn't need to be anything selected on this one at all, because what you can do is you can do multiple action boxes down the page. So if I just duplicate these to show you what I mean, update. There we go. So these could be two different lists. All the difference would be the number of that action box. And then to create the image, I would just use Canva. So I would just go into Canva, use an image similar to sort of a Twitter post, that kind of size. Click on the post and actually create an image for your freebie that you can share out on social and in your magic action box. So I would just upload. Here's an image I've got uploaded, one of mine. It's a bit grainy, that one. But I might use this for example, my blog planner. You can click on a background, or you can put a rectangle or a circle or anything else over, just to create a nice clean graphic for your freebie. Just going to turn that colour, and then just pop your text over the top. So free blog planner, and pop that white and just centre it over there, and that's all I would need to do. So I'm just going to download that as a JPEG. If you're putting images on your website, if they need transparent backgrounds, then they'll have to be PNGs, but otherwise save them as JPEGs because they take up less room, and we don't want to slow your site down. Okay, so now I've got that, I'm just going to go back in, edit the page, and pop that little graphic in here. So I'm going to add media and upload. Select. Get that little download. Can't see it for looking now. What did I call it? Log planner. Hopefully it'll be at the bottom somewhere. Too many documents on here, clearly. There we go, free blog planner. Okay, I'm just going to insert that into the page there, and then you can click on it and grab on it, make it smaller or bigger, save and exit. So you just need to play around with the lineup of some of them to make sure that you've got them exactly how you want them to be. And you can see there, I've got free blog planner. Now you can see these are two together. So if you wanted to space these out, what you'd actually do if you were using Divi would be to create a new row. So if you create a new row, put two in there, drop them down here, update. You'll see then it's spaced them out, so you've got one below the other. And then if you wanted to put them on top of each other, which I think how I've got them on mine, let me just double check. Resources. It's taking an age to load. Good old Wi-Fi here today. Okay, so what I've actually done is just put a big background image at the top of mine, but these ones where they're side to side, all you would actually do there is go and create a row that has got possibly 4 in. So you can have, just let me take that one out. You can have an image and a sign up and an image and a sign up. So if we copy that over, these have got the images in here, and as I say, all those can be completely different. There we go. So you do need to play around with the layouts. You can see there the image would be better, a bit deeper than the sign up, and these are where you've got it side by side as images, but if you bake them into different rows, that will segregate them. So in order to take the border and the backgrounds off, which is what I mentioned before, we would just go in back into your action boxes, into your styles and buttons, and I've got it as my style, and then just go to the background colour here. So white is all the Fs, 6 Fs, and you just need to make sure you take the border off there, which is 0. Oh, didn't do it. Make that 0. Save the style. And I'm just going to go back to that page now. Called it test. Can't see it for looking now. Did I call it? What did I call it? I've just got my page ID, that's fine. Okay. So just make sure those changes have saved there. Okay, now you can see the background's gone. So it's just that really nice, clean sign up. And for these, I actually probably will put the image on top of the so what you would do for that is you change it back into 2 2s, and then you can have the image on top of the other one. So that's an action box there. So you would just slide that under, make sure you've got the image on the top, which I have, and the action box should be underneath. Perfect. And slide those over. So I've got an image and a sign up box underneath the image there, like that. So that's how you kind of build them all as different ones on your page. But any questions at all about adding Magic Action Box image or whatever, just let me know. You can email me at naomi@branchingoutonline.co.uk or just pop into the group and ask me there. That's great.